after 52-year-old Maggie Murdaugh and her 22-year-old son Paul were shot and killed on their Colleton County property.
I need the police to handle this immediately. My wife and child are just shot badly.
In a shocking act that defies reason, a prominent figure plunges into the depths of depravity. Join us as we unravel the mystery behind the Murdaugh family murders. We will navigate through the maze of lies in search of the truth, analyzing a man whose facade of respectability crumbled as he turned into a monster that would forever change the lives of the Murdaugh family and taint a respectable bloodline. Our story starts in Low Country, South Carolina, home to the Murdaugh family. The family started their influence in the region a century ago, establishing a law firm. 3 generations of Murdaugh men would be in power, holding down the office of solicitor, i.e. the chief prosecutor. The Murdaugh family enjoyed political influence over the entire region, even today. Alex Murdaugh would serve only as a volunteer prosecutor in the family business. Alex would marry the love of his life from college and have 2 sons, Buster and Paul, with her. He wasn't a well-renowned lawyer, but he was paid enough from the family law firm that he owned private islands and had acres upon acres of hunting estate. So, it's safe to say he was living the high life. This loving family would soon be broken into pieces over the actions of Alex. We'll take you through the timeline covering all the events related to the murders of Alex's wife and son Paul. It all starts with a phone call.
What was your emergency? I got a flat tire.
June 7th, 2021. Alex Murdaugh called 911 at exactly 10:07 p.m., reporting that he had found the bodies of Margaret and Paul lifeless, close to the family's dog kennels on their hunting estate in Colleton County. He further mentioned that he was out somewhere and had just come back. He later told authorities that he was, in fact, with his mother and her caregiver before he arrived at the crime scene. Was he telling the truth, or will this contribute to a web of lies? We will find out soon enough. In the autopsy report of the bodies, it was discovered that both bodies had gunshot wounds. So, a firearm was likely used to end the lives of these 2 poor souls. September 4th, 2021. The story gets interesting when news broke 3 months later that Alex had been shot in the head by some unknown person but survived. His attorney later claimed that he was changing his car's tire when the attacker jumped him.
I got a flat tire. Somebody stopped to help me. And when I turned my back, they tried to shoot me.
Alex Murdaugh was cunning, but police had caught his lie and confirmed that Alex tried to arrange his own death, so his son Buster could inherit $10 million from the insurance policy. Alex gave this task to a man named Curtis Edward Smith, who later claimed that he was Alex's distant cousin, and that Alex was like a brother to him. Curtis gave an interview to NBC News and had some really important information to offer. He told the reporter that on the day Murdaugh was allegedly shot, he told Curtis to meet him at a location. When he arrived, Alex handed Curtis a pistol and told him to shoot him, which Curtis couldn't. He told the reporter he snatched the weapon and it went off. Still, luckily, it didn't kill or hurt anyone. When Curtis went to pick up the fallen gun, Alex hit the car and landed in the dirt. This interview confirmed that Alex had been bluffing about being shot in the head. Alex's attorney tried to justify his actions by referring to his opioid addiction and the depressive phase he was going through after losing his wife and son. Curtis was later arrested for insurance fraud, assisted suicide, and many other charges. He was eventually sent to jail, but was released 235 days later when the judge reinstated his bond. On September 6, 2021, Alex stated he was resigning from his family's law firm, and the firm followed up with a statement saying that Alex had misappropriated the company's funds. Who would have thought about stealing from the very own family that supported you all those years? September 16, 2021. Alex Murdaugh surrendered himself to the authorities after the charges were placed on him related to insurance fraud. His passport was taken and the judge graciously allowed Alex to return to his rehabilitation center. Alex didn't seem all clean, so he was definitely on the radar of the police regarding the double homicide. We didn't know how much of a confident liar Alex was because we were about to head into the first plot twist of the story. Hey, just a friendly reminder, consider subscribing if you like the content you're watching. It's free and helps us grow our little community further. You can always unsubscribe if you want to. Alright, back to right where we left off. October 14th, 2021. Alex Murdaugh was arrested by Florida police officials as he left the rehabilitation center. He was charged with yet another fraud charge, where he obtained property by pretenses. This was a huge deal. Millions of dollars had been stolen from client settlements. The judge denied Alex's bond and had a psychiatric analysis done on him. Money laundering, computer crimes, forgery, you name it. Alex Murdaugh did it. His image of a respectable lawyer and his family name had been tarnished. The charges just kept on coming. How corrupt was this man? He benefited from desperate people and their desperate situations. Evidence was piling up against him, and momentarily the real bomb would drop. The events that followed included Alex being disbarred. At the same time, the total charges against him were now way above 100. January 25th, 2023. Alex Murdaugh's murder trial had now begun. Dick Harpootlian and Jim Griffin represented Alex, while Creighton Waters represented the state. Authorities had now gathered crucial information regarding the GPS location of Alex from the devices he was using. Even a cell phone video confirmed his placement in contrast to the alibi he had given the authorities when he first called for help. The police were onto him. They had already disassembled his web of lies and undeniable evidence that would soon be responsible for Murdaugh's downfall. The evidence included a video shot from Paul's phone minutes before he was killed. Paul can be seen petting a dog present in the kennel.
Hey, he's got a bird in his mouth! Come here, Bubba. Come here, Cash. Come here, Bubba. Cash. Quit.
And in the background, we can clearly hear the voice of Alex Murdaugh saying, "Come here, Bubba," calling the family dog.
Come here, Bubba. Come here, Cash. Come here, Bubba. Cash. Quit.
This differs from Alex's account of him being at his mother's house. Who would have thought that the canine would be the undoing of Alex's alibi? This testimony had a crucial role in the entire case, as it placed Alex right there 5 minutes before Maggie and Paul were shot dead. GPS location showed Alex's car leaving for his mother's house and coming back to his house around 10 p.m. Between these moments, Alex's phone had been calling Maggie and sending texts to her. Prosecutors believe Alex was trying to cover up his tracks. Many witnesses testified that the voice in Paul's video was indeed 100% Alex Murdaugh's.
Come here, Bubba. Come here, Cash. Come here, Bubba. Cash. Quit.
The autopsy report revealed that Paul was shot once with a shotgun, and Maggie was shot once from the back with a rifle, then a few more times while she was on the ground. The defense first denied the firearm's mere existence, but friends of Alex confirmed using the guns before the murder during turkey hunting season. Such a sick and violent act on your own blood. He raised Paul since he was a toddler and married the wife out of love. Both were killed by a desperate man. You might be wondering what motive such a despicable man could have. As they say, you need a lie to cover up for another lie. What made Alex so desperate and scared? The state theorized that he feared the information that was coming out regarding him stealing money from his clients, and the law firm would land him in hot water. To cover up his crimes, he decided to kill his wife and son to delay or escape the grip of the law through sympathy for his situation. The evidence pointed out that Alex was confronted by his firm about more than $800,000 missing the same day the double murder took place. Also, that week, he was due for a court hearing for the boat crash incident. There was a case in which Paul Murdaugh and a few of his friends were involved in a drunk driving of a boat onto the beach, which knocked Mallory Beach, one of Paul's friends, into the water, and she drowned. Her body was found days later, and her parents decided to put up charges against the Murdaugh boy. Paul had acquired liquor that day through the means of his elder brother's ID, since all of them were minors. Alex was sued for $10 million by Mallory Beach's family. These conditions brought onto him were the reason he had to kill for a cover-up story. Alex Murdaugh decided to testify in front of the court, going against the advice of his attorney. He presented himself with tears and snot running down his face. Was this another one of his attempts at gaining sympathy? He was questioned whether he was at the dog kennels at the time of Maggie and Paul's death, to which he said he was. He even admitted that once he starts lying, he continues to lie. Nonetheless, he blamed his false statements on his opioid addiction, quoting that he took up to 2,000 milligrams of pills daily. To the surprise of many, or through the professionalism of the state's attorney, Alex Murdaugh slowly started accepting all his fraud crimes and stealing money from clients. All the evidence was laid bare naked. There was no escape for the greedy killer that was Alex Murdaugh. The next day, Alex's younger brother, John Marvin Murdaugh, gave his statement recalling the horrible crime scene where he saw his beloved nephew's remains. While sobbing and trying to control his emotions, he told the court that it was one of the hardest things he had ever done. Blood, pieces of skull, and tissue were sprawled all over the crime scene. The shotgun and the rifle Alex used did their job and took innocent lives. While cleaning up his nephew's remains, he promised to find his killer. He told the courtroom full of emotions.
And I can promise you, no mother or father or aunt or uncle should ever have to see and do what I did that day. I don't know, I'm not blaming anybody, but it's just, I was just overwhelmed. I did everything I could. It's the hardest thing I've ever been through in my life.
The next day, jurors visited the property and were shown the crime scene in detail. Alex Murdaugh is found guilty of murdering his son and his wife. Judge Clifton Newman gave him a befitting 2 consecutive life sentences for his crimes. The judge told Alex it might not have been you. It might have been the Alex who took a massive amount of pills.
Well, and it might not have been you. It might have been the monster you become.
Speculating that he might become another person when he overdosed. Where is Alex Murdaugh now? Well, he's behind bars at South Carolina maximum security prison. Such a sinister and cunning man won't ever taste freedom again, ridding society of one heinous monster. Bubba, the dog who became a witness, provided vital evidence in the case and wholly foiled Alex's alibi of him being at his mother's place at the time of the murders. He spends the rest of his days peacefully with the Murdaugh family's housekeeper, Blanca Simpson, while Alex's only remaining son, Buster Murdaugh, now lives with his girlfriend, Brooklyn White, in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, destroyed by his mother and brother's death while knowing that his father will never leave jail. The criminals fail to look at how many consequences their actions might produce, leaving the loving family life they enjoyed torn to shreds. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment down below what case you want us to document next. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay safe out there.